We all have our problems in life. Relationship issues, family issues, only uploading every 2 years due to anxiety, procrastination, and perfectionism. We all have our own hardships. Some run away from their problems, while others confront them head on. This is reflected in the media we consume. Some anime are simple escapism. Some are motivation to move forward. But only the truly special provide a window into the struggle between one man in an unforgiving world. Most people think of Steins Gate or Joka Tomore, but I immediately jump to Tairu no Yasai, known to most as VeggieTales. As to why, look no further than the saga of Scallion No. 1. Scallion No. 1 has one of the best character arcs, not only in anime, but ever committed to film. Our hero begins as an advisor to King Darius in the very first episode, Kamidoko itsu es koai desu. A good rule of thumb, when a character starts with nothing, they get everything. But if they start with everything, don't get too attached. Scallion No. 1 is a conniving, backstabbing sack of chlorophyll, i.e. a politician. The moment his position is threatened by the newcomer Daniel, he and his fellow advisors come up with a plan to legally murder him. This is lawful evil. When their plot is exposed, the group is exiled and splits up. In the next episode, we get a glimpse of the fractures forming in our favorite purple-nosed Nira's new life. He has bounced back, relatively, and become a more direct con man, selling forgiveness. Fun fact, this is called simony. An actual child sees through his facade, leaving him scrambling to come up with a new purpose for this machine. The lights go out, symbolizing how blind he has been this whole time. But his struggles have only just begun. Often, our greatest obstacle is ourselves. For Scallion No. 1, he denies his revelation and falls into his old ways, joining up with the other two Scallions to become highway robbers. But it isn't just like the old times like he had hoped. The joy has left this old life of thievery. Like we so often do, he ignores the root of the problem and hopes that going bigger is the answer. 2 episodes later, and he is well on his way to rock bottom. In his attempts to find true happiness, he has become a bank robber. In a true Christmas miracle, he gets the wrong house and is freely offered a cookie instead. This simple act of kindness is what sparks a change in him. Despite being chased away by Santa himself, Scallion No. 1 is given a new lease on life. Other than a brief cameo in episode 8, his next appearance is in episode 10. The Scallions have opened a business, looking to help others while turning a tidy little profit. Unfortunately, he doesn't realize that it wasn't the material worth of the cookie that made such an impact on him. It was the kindness that it represented. He is so close, yet so far. Things take a turn for the worse when his best customer returns all her purchases for a full refund. It wouldn't be so bad if the products didn't fall into the lake and her house hadn't landed in the parking lot. To financially recover from this, they take a gig singing for a dine-in theater and recap episode 11. The Scallions split up again after this, never quite making a comeback. No. 1 is at a point now where he can satirize his own greed by playing the Englishman who went up the hill and came down with all the bananas, in Legord's production of The Englishman who went up the hill and came down with all the bananas. He has a steady job as a roaming butler, serving several kings, and as a servant and as an announcer. In Scallion No. 1's final appearance in Season 1, he has become a custodian and has learned humility. Picking up trash, he notices that he never even had a name. This is not only a great meta joke, but also gives us insight into his completed arc. He forsakes his own name, choosing instead to glorify something greater than himself. This became an instant trope. The most notable usage is Full Metal Alchemist's Scar. Scallion No. 1 is often referred to by the enlightened as one of the greatest examples of a perfect character arc. The show tricks you into thinking greed is his downfall, just as he was tricked. But that's stupid. He was controlled by a little worm called pride. Through true acts of kindness around him and changing his social circles, he went from a con man to a respectable citizen who still makes mistakes, but takes responsibility for his actions. Nice.